G'day folks, Ronnie here for fourwheelinginwesternaustralia.com. You are watching trip episode number 24. On this particular trip, we started in the middle of the bush, about 300 k's northeast of Esperance in Western Australia. With the help of some locals, Josh and Matt, who we met up with, they guided us to some old pastoral stations, some old pioneer sheep stations, at which point we then headed off on our own to Point Culver, which is the western edge of the Great Australian Bight. After that, we passed Bilbunya Dunes, the biggest dunes in the southern hemisphere, and then onto Israelite Bay and everything in between. Once we get to Israelite Bay, that concludes part 1 of our epic trip. Part 2 will be in episode number 25. Vehicles on this trip: one Pajero, driven by Josh, passenger Matt; the Jeep, driven by Brian; a 76 series Land Cruiser, driven by Jeremy; a graphite coloured 79 series single cab, driven by Wayne; and Torben in his silver 79 series with the canopy on the back; and of course my 79 series dual cab. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and enjoy. Cheers. Now that big dust storm you just saw all these four-wheel drives create, well, that was pretty much just driving through bull dust. Doesn't matter how slow or how fast you go, you're still going to get it. Now, in this kind of situation, you don't follow someone too close, because if you go through someone else's cloud, you honestly cannot see the front of your bonnet. So if there's a turn, you're going to go straight into the bush. It looks awesome, but it gets in everywhere. I find that after uploading these trip videos, I get a lot of people asking me, did you air down, or what PSI did you use along the tracks? Well, on these kind of tracks here, we went down to about 25 PSI. It's a good compromise, so you can still go, you still get a bit of speed, but you soften your ride, because there was some soft sandy sections, obviously the bull dust, there were some trees we had to drive over as well. So definitely always let your tyres down. It's like the homestead. A lot of flies in here. Woo! The group that maintains this place done a fantastic job. So after our short visit at Diralinya, we said goodbye to Josh and Matt. They had to go back to Esperance and unfortunately go out to work. We then moved on to the second pastoral station. We did move on to a few others, but to get this trip rolling, I'll only show you these two. Beach, and we were meant to stay back in the bush for another night, but it's been so bloody hot. On the way down to Esperance was 43 degrees, yesterday was 38, today was 37. We continued on, pushed on, refueled, and now we're heading south towards the coast. And driving this time of the day, just get the magic skies, love it. And here's a few photos we took while we were driving through. Bloody beautiful. That's one of the reasons why we're out here, to see stuff like that you don't normally see in your suburbia. So we'll be setting up camp in the dark, but I'm sure we'll manage, as we have many times before, because everyone's pretty well equipped. Yep, as you can see, we're still at it. It's nearly 8 o'clock, and we started this track at 6 o'clock, or before 6 during the sunset. Part of the adventure. So I've got to say, I'm pretty hungry and I'm pretty eager to get to camp. Once we finally reached the limestone wastelands at the base of the scarp, we were lucky enough to catch up with this carpet python out on his hunt. Now what we did there, I wouldn't call that camping, that was just a quick rest. There was no possible way we were going to make it to the campsite we were actually going to go to. It just got too dark, the tide was too high, it was too dangerous, we were too exhausted. So we just had a quick nap here and we're on our way again. Now the Western Australian edge of the Great Australian Bight, and we're also at the Squeaky Sand. Check this out. Squeaky Sand. After a quick bath in the ocean after 2 days in the searing heat and a short surf, we made our way towards the Bilbunya Dunes. We're at Bilbunya Dunes, and as you can see, we've got our sandboards out. These are the biggest dunes in Australia, so hopefully we come down unscathed. Don't know if you can see, but at the very top up there's Wayne and Jeremy at the very, very top. How long did it take to get there?
About 7 or 8 minutes.
7 or 8 minutes? It's not too bad. So hopefully we can get there about 7 or 8 minutes. So we're going to go to the top and have a bit of a sandboard. Now, we're using candle wax for your sandboards. That's the only kind of wax that I know of that works. You can't use surfboard wax. Here we are at the top. Cars out here.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ! Go.
After a bit of sandboarding, we thought, well, can't come all the way to Bilbunya Dunes, biggest dunes in Australia, Southern Hemisphere, and then not actually drive up them. So here we go. And yeah, I hit a soft patch. As you can see, I should have followed Wayne's line up. I really wish we could have stayed longer, but there's no camping allowed in this area, unfortunately. So we must move on towards Israelite Bay. But I must add a positive note, it was bloody fantastic to sandboard down these massive dunes. It was actually quite scary, hence the reason why we sat on our boards. We didn't want to really break a leg out there, being all these manual vehicles, one drive each vehicle. We got to get home somehow. So with the tide being a bit too high for our liking and the sand being too soft, we decided to take the telegraph track inland towards Israelite Bay. Now with these salt pans, it doesn't matter where in the world you are, if it has been raining like heaps, never deviate off the firm tracks that are already there. You may see water on the track, but you want to stick to the track. If you go off to the side, you will get bogged. It's just a matter of time. And if you're by yourself, good luck getting out. So we arrived at Israelite Bay just at sundown, so we just made a quick pass past the telegraph station, and we made a decision to check it out the next morning so we could go find a camp while it was still a little bit light. Here you see the sunrise coming up over the Israelite Bay jetty. The jetty was built to resupply the station back in the day and also to export wool from the sheep stations nearby. We are now heading back to the telegraph station, which we passed the night before, the Israelite Bay telegraph station. This station was originally built in 1876 out of wood. Then the structure you see right now was built in 1896, which replaced the wooden structure. So at the time we visited it, which is 2015, these walls have been standing there for 119 years. And they're still there, so it's pretty impressive given it's so close to the coastline, and I'd imagine a lot of storms would have come through here. Now before this telegraph line was built with all these stations, news took roughly 3 weeks to get from Adelaide to Perth. When this line was in full operation, news was same day, so that's how big and significant this telegraph line was. This area, Israelite Bay, in its heyday, with all the fishermen and all the working staff, all the pioneers, all the telegraph people, at the peak it was about 150 people that lived here at one time. Final interesting fact about this area, the area is called Israelite Bay because on either side of this bay lived two different tribes. One tribe practiced circumcision, the other tribe didn't. So Israelite Bay was the line of where the division was between the tribes of who practiced circumcision and who didn't. So it's a really strange way how the name came about. Now this trip I thoroughly enjoyed, and all the boys thoroughly enjoyed this trip as well. But it's not finished. This was the end of episode 1, or part 1 I should say. Part 2 will be in episode 25, coming soon. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I might catch you out there. See ya.